Hello and welcome back to Mondo Musings. I'm your presenter Ricardo McLean with your NCAA Indoor Championships Men's 60 meters form chart. Now in what's shaping up to be a classic case of catch me if you can, fast starting reigning champ Makai Williams will seek to hold off a field featuring some furious finishers. Here's our power ranking of the 16-man field before the start gun goes. Kicking off our form chart at number 16 is Alcorn State's Braelyn Robinson, who finished 13th overall in the 60 at NCAA Indoors last season. The plucky HBCU student, who should be more familiar than most with the Birmingham Metro Crossplex track, sewed up the Southwestern Athletic Conference title on said surface with a PB equaling 660 performance. In the 15th spot is Iowa's Kaylin Walker, who unexpectedly overturned a loaded field thanks to a brilliant 661 PB to take top honors in the 60 at the Tyson Invitational. Fastest in the heats with 662 at Big Ten Indoors, the sophomore sprinter subsided to third in 670 in the subsequent final. Coming in at number 14 is Kentucky Wildcat Lance Lang, who's been one of the more consistent performers in the 60 all season. Though obviously a more potent force going an extra 140 meters, the SEC 200 meter champ claimed a creditable bronze in this event in College Station. A running back in his former life as a New Mexico Lobo, beefy Badger Lawrence Johnson announced himself as a force to be reckoned with by busting out a 661 PB at the Windy City Invitational back in February. At Big Ten Indoors, the Wisconsin native came within 200ths of that mark to claim a solid silver. At number 12 is USC's Devonte Burnett, who failed to face the starter in the 60 at the Pac-12 Championships. Prior to this unscheduled absence, the talented Haitian-Jamaican's campaign had gained some good momentum, as illustrated by his 660 PB to take the top spot at the Arkansas qualifier on February 18th. With only one performance slower than 669 in 9 60-meter outings this season, Dietrich Vanover's commendable consistency sees him filling the 11th spot. Owner of a 660 PB from the Clemson Invitational, the impressive Florida Gator showed off his championship chops by dead heating for gold at SEC Indoors. Tenth on our list is Texas Tech's Jacoby Shelton, whose 658 personal best on his home track at the Texas Tech Open primed him perfectly for championship season. At the subsequent showcase event for the Big 12 Conference, the Texas native successfully defended his crown with a facile victory in 6.64 seconds. Holding down position number 9 is last year's NCAA Indoors 7th placer Sterling Warner Savage, who lit up the Tiger Paw Invite with a 655 PB. Labeled with a favorites tag in the absence of Dondre Swint at ACC's, the bustling Louisville Cardinal duly obliged by snatching gold with a 664 clocking. USC's Brendan Stewart, who features at number 8, will be keen to improve on the 8th place finish he managed in 2021. Buoyed by his 658 PB at the Husky Classic in February, which ultimately assured safe passage to Birmingham, the senior warmed up for the impending trial by fire with a bronze medal finish at the Pac-12 Championships. Logging a new PB and grabbing a share of gold in the 60 at SEC Indoors sees Matthew Bowling sitting at number 7. Atypically poised under pressure, the multi-talented Georgia Bulldog backed up 659 with 664 to stand atop the podium in the event for which he's probably least well suited. At number 6 is another rugged runner from Big Ten country by way of the British Virgin Islands, Recoy Brathwaite, who blasted the season's first 6.5 all the way back on December 10th. Third at last year's Nationals in 6.56, the Indiana Hoosier hinted that he could keep the 6.5 times coming with a workmanlike 6.57 to defend his Big Ten 60-meter crown. Equaling his 6.55 PB at the Husky Classic in February clearly signaled that former Seminole Kasson James had not lost a step during the transfer from Tallahassee to LA. With his 6.62 for silver at the Pac-12 championship, the recent USC recruit affirmed that he'll ride into Birmingham as the most potent medal threat for the Trojans. Favor Ashe's unfortunate DQ in the heats at SEC Indoors only added to the inky intrigue surrounding Tennessee's prized Nigerian recruit. The talent, as emphasized by his stunning 6.52 prelim run at the Tyson Invitational, is almost otherworldly. It's tantalizing enough to suggest that he could threaten the very top of the podium if he puts it all together. On the evidence of what we've seen so far, though, that's quite a big if. Like his namesake from the Friday movies, Dondre Debo Swint got up to some bully business at his first meet for the season. A crushing 6.58-6.53 combo appeared to telegraph a knockout, but a subsequent DNF at the Texas Tech Open almost put the Florida State sprinter down for the count. A deserving medal favorite based on that January showing, it's now anybody's guess how the compact sprinter will perform in his return to competitive action. Having not completed an individual race since he shocked the world with his collegiate record equaling 6.45 bomb at the Corky Classic in January, Texas Tech's Jones is yet another top ranker shrouded by mystery heading in. While his reported hamstring problem logically doesn't bode well for him replicating his nigh-on perfect start in Lubbock, the Bahamian teen with the alpha 200-meter man traits still warrants this place based on performance. And at number 1 is defending champion Makai Williams, whose 8 wins from 8 60-meter starts on the season, highlighted by a lifetime best 6.48 at the Cougar Classic, leaves little doubt that he'll be the man to beat when the drag racing starts in Birmingham. The most recent of these victories came at the Pac-12 Invitational, where Oregon's star man was just too hot for USC's best to handle. And that right there is a wrap for this rundown. Now you can also check out the women's edition of this form chart on the channel. Thanks as always for watching. Until next time, Godspeed.